my shirt. This is why I can't have anything nice. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. It is that time of month again where I round up some of my favorite products and share them with you guys. So as always, these are totally random. I'm really all over the place this month, but there are a few things that I really have been loving a lot. And also a couple of things that I do normally anyway use in my daily routine that I just haven't shared with you guys yet. So let's get started. Also, I don't know why I just gave you a thumbs up, but that's kind of just a metaphor for how I've been feeling lately. Finally, we have a super sunny day. It's beautiful. We actually were able to go on a nice long walk this morning, but other than that, my day has been crazy busy. So I'm excited to be able to just sit down and share some of this with you guys. So first up, again, I wasn't lying when I said it was going to be super random, but I've been talking about this quite a bit on my Instagram page, and I've had a lot of questions about it, and kind of legitimate questions, because I realized I never really talked that in depth about it, more about how I put it together. So I thought this would be the perfect time to share that with you guys. But what it is the all-purpose cleaner that I use. As most of you know, myself and my family are trying really hard to get rid of the toxic chemicals in our house. And one of the main culprits of that for many people is in your cleaning products, which seems totally counterproductive, but I realized I had been smearing my home in chemicals, and especially when I had Noah, I knew that that needed to stop. So we looked for alternative ways, and when we discovered doTERRA, and again, for those of you who don't know, I build a business with doTERRA. I teach people how to promote their health naturally using things like essential oils. And I learned that doTERRA actually had a cleaner concentrate utilizing the On Guard protective blend of essential oils, which is known to boost your immune system. So what this is the On Guard cleaner concentrate. It's just this little bottle, and I actually just take this glass spray bottle. I put about like 2 to 3 tablespoons of the On Guard cleaner concentrate in this and fill the rest with water, and that's it. I use this like 4 times a day. I clean my entire kitchen using it. I spray my countertops after I am cooking or am in there doing whatever, and I spray our tabletop when we're finished eating. I use this to dust with. I even sometimes use this to clean windows. I do have one that has white vinegar in it, but I'm out of white vinegar, otherwise I would show you. But just by adding a couple tablespoons of white vinegar to this same mixture, you can use it as an all-natural window cleaner or glass tabletop, anything glass really. But it's just a super gentle, effective way to clean my house, kill the germs, and also allow us to benefit from that really amazing On Guard blend. So I've just really, really loved that. And also it smells really good. I just did a post the other day about how I used to be such a stickler for bleach, and I didn't feel like my house was cleaned unless the smell of bleach literally slapped you in the face when you walked in. It's horrible. I would even bleach my sheets just because I liked the smell. To me, that smelled clean. And I know now that that's probably a horrible thing to do. But this cleaner actually smells like Christmas. So as opposed to making my house smell like bleach in order for it to be clean, it's been a really nice adjustment to instead have my house smell like cinnamon and orange and clove, because that's what this smells like. This is a concentrated formula. Again, I use like 2 to 3 tablespoons in that spray bottle that I actually got on shareoils.com. And I fill the rest with water, so a little bit of this goes a long way. I've had this bottle for probably about 6 months, and because you just use a little bit here and there, it lasts a really long time, so it's a really great investment. It actually doesn't even cost that much. I think it's like 14 bucks. But I had been previously spending at least that much a month per cleaner agent that I was using, and it was not lasting nearly as long as this did. And again, it was laden in chemicals, which is just really gross, and it didn't smell nearly as beautiful and Christmassy as this did. Okay, so off of cleaning supplies and onto beauty products. One of my favorite things since making this adjustment, I think I'm like really off center. One of my favorite things that I've been able to do since making the switch to more natural products has been trying out new beauty products. I don't really know what it is. I just really I love skincare, I love hair care, I love all things like that. So it's been fun to retry all those things, because I feel like for a long time I had been just stuck in the same brands, and I had just been using the exact same thing since I was 12, since I started using anything like that. And I really hadn't branched out and experienced different brands or really allowed myself to like make an investment in healthy natural products, because it isn't always the cheapest thing, but in the long run it really does do you so much better than buying that crap at the grocery store. One of my new favorites, and I really have only been using this month, but I've really liked it, is the Soothing Touch Vanilla Chai Lip Balm. But I got this at Whole Foods. It smells really good. Again, it's vanilla chai. It's this really thick tube, which I like because I feel like it lasted me a pretty decent amount of time. I use lip balm all the time. I'm not a huge lipstick wearer. I do have some lipsticks that I like, and I can do another video about that. But I love lip balm. I have one down here in my living room. I have one next to my bed. I have one in my purse. I have them everywhere. The moment I realize I don't have lip balm, my lips feel chapped. I know that's crazy. I know it's all in my head, but it happens. So I make sure to always have plenty of lip balms. But anyway, this one has been really good. It's 85% organic. It's vegan. It doesn't have beeswax, which I'm really trying to make an effort to steer clear of. Again, we're vegans, and I really don't want to be using anything like that. Let the bees have their wax, I say. But it's been really good. It has cocoa and shea butter, so it's super moisturizing. The flavors in here are just really nice and really subtle. And it glides on really smoothly. I've been through so many different lip balms, and this one has really stuck out to be one of my favorites. So again, I got that at Whole Foods. It was only a couple bucks. I actually think I got this one on sale. I also have the unscented one next to my bed upstairs, and I do like that one as well. But I would say between the two, I probably like the vanilla chai best. Okay, so another thing in beauty that was something that I was really kind of worried about trying. I'm not really sure why. But again, like I said, I had just been using the same products for such a long time. When it came to my skincare, I was really nervous to try anything different. Luckily, I've never really been one to struggle with acne. I do get breakouts, don't get me wrong, but I never really had acne. But I did struggle with like oily skin and, you know, blackheads, normal things that your skin goes through. But I think oily skin was kind of like my biggest struggle when I was a kid. Even to this day, I get like, you know, certain times of the month bring on breakouts. Sure enough, I actually have a spot right here. So try not to focus on that now. I was really, really glad when I decided to try this next thing because I just really love it. So I know I've talked about a piece of this. I think I talked just about the moisturizer before, but this is the Virage skincare line. It's through doTERRA again, but it's their skincare line that's geared toward anti-aging. I'm 26. I know most people don't maybe think about using anti-aging products until a little bit later in life, but I like the skin that I have right now, and I want to do everything that I can to try and keep it this way. So it's 4 pieces. And the first one is the cleanser. It comes in this nice little squeezy bottle. It just sits on my counter like this, so it's nice, it stays upright, and I don't have to like try and squeeze it down from the bottom because I hate doing that. Gosh, these hairs. But it has this nice little pump. It smells really great. It has wild orange, melaleuca, and basil, which are all really good for calming your skin and helping fight the signs of aging, which is my goal. It's a natural gel cleanser that purifies and invigorates skin while natural emollients nourish and hydrate, leaving a glowing, youthful looking complexion. So I really liked this. A little tiny pump goes a long way. I just put like, honestly, a grain of rice size, pretty much, tiny, tiny little pump in my fingertips while I'm in the shower or at my sink, depending on where I'm washing my face at that time of day, because I usually do it twice a day. And just rub it in circular motions, going upwards for like 20 seconds, and then I rinse it with cool water, and then I move on to the next step, which is the toner. I really like this. It's actually in like a little mister bottle, which I thought was really interesting. I've never had a toner that misted before, but it's really kind of cool because it foams. I'll see if I can show you. It's foamy and it's really cool and it feels really good on my skin. I'm about to get super random on you, bear with me. But I did a video a couple of weeks ago carrying you guys around with me, sharing with you what myself and my toddler were eating for the day. And I talked about these little toaster pastries that we were eating for breakfast. And I had a ton of people tell me that they'd never even heard of these, so I thought I would highlight them because they honestly are one of my favorite things for a couple of reasons. A, they're vegan. They don't have any dairy or eggs, which I like, obviously. B, they taste like cookies for breakfast. And I know they're probably not the most healthy option, but I'm going to be really honest with you for a minute. I don't like breakfast. I don't know, maybe it's just I don't like cooking that early in the morning, or I don't know. I've never been a huge fan of breakfast foods. So when I find something that I like for breakfast, I stick to it. One being peanut butter toast and my coffee, and the other being toaster pastries, fruit, and coffee. So they're from Nature's Path. They're organic, unfrosted berry strawberry toaster pastries made with real organic fruit. I also really like the apple cinnamon ones that have actually like a cinnamon sugar coating on top. Again, I know this isn't very healthy. Nobody said vegans have to be like crazy healthy all the time, right? But I really have liked it. So I wanted to share that with you guys because, again, I had a lot of people tell me that they'd never heard of these toaster pastries before, and I thought that was crazy because they see them at my store all the time. So if you are like me and you're lazy in the mornings and you don't know what to do for breakfast, maybe give these a try. Okay, so the next thing, again, is kind of like a breakfast item, but it's actually my coffee pot. I'm like holding this up, realizing how crazy random it is to be talking about my coffee pot, but here we are. So I used to have a Keurig and I loved it. I really, really did love it, and I drink like 2 cups of coffee a day. I usually have one in the morning and one in the afternoon, and I just felt like the Keurig was super convenient. But in the back of my head, it was killing me, A, how much we were spending on those little K-cups, and B, just kind of like really how detrimental they are for the environment. And I know you can get the ones that have like the biodegradable cups or the recycled plastic, or there's a ton of different ones out there, and we actually were using those, and we even were using sometimes that like my K-cup that you fill up with your own coffee grounds, but I just didn't feel like that was making very good coffee, to be honest. And when my Keurig broke, I really couldn't force myself to buy a new one because I didn't love it. Prior to that, I hadn't really been a coffee drinker. I didn't really become one until after we already had a Keurig. So I didn't know anything about coffee pots. So I went online and I was looking up a bunch of different ways to brew coffee because this is the kind of time I have in my day. Not. But I came across slow drip or pour over coffee, and I had never heard of that. So I looked a little bit deeper into it and learned about just like how you can brew coffee with it and how crazy easy it is and how much money it saves. So I bought one, and this is the one that we have. It's by Bodum, and it has this like little plastic rubber collar around the side or around the middle so that you can hold it and it doesn't burn you. But it has this really beautiful glass carafe that I really like how it looks because I don't mind now having it out on my counter where we keep our coffees and teas and stuff, because I think it looks kind of nice. So what you do, if you aren't familiar, like I wasn't, is you take this little reusable filter, which comes with it, and you put your coffee grounds inside this, which we just get our coffee grounds at Whole Foods. So you put your coffee grounds in this, and you set this over top of the glass carafe, and then you actually take a gooseneck kettle. I know this looks really crazy. It wasn't like when I told you this video was going to be really random. But you heat your water up in this on the stove, and then you just pour it over in circles over the grounds until all the water's in there. And when it pours into here, all of your coffee then brews straight into here. You can just rinse this out and then pour your coffee straight into your mug from this. That, for some reason, sounds like a lot of work. I'm really probably not very good at describing it, but honestly, it takes like no time at all. The most time that any part of that takes is to just heat up the water. It's crazy easy, it's really fast, it brews really good coffee, and it's much better for the environment because I'm not using anything that's disposable. All of this is reusable, which is really nice, and this cleans out really easy. I just rinse it in my sink, and same with this, and I just let them dry and that's it. But yeah, I really liked this. I know that there's a couple of different brands that have these pour over coffee pots. This one had really great reviews and it was like the median price range, which is what I usually aim for. And I've been really happy with it. We've had this now for, I would say, like 7 months, 7 or 8 months. We've been using it quite a bit. Like I said, we drink like 2 cups of coffee a day. So it's been through a lot and it's still looks brand new. So the last thing is an oil that I've been reaching for a lot this month. We have some really big changes coming up and I feel like it's been overwhelming me just a little bit. I have a really hard time knowing changes coming and not planning everything out for it, even if it's like months down the line. So I drive myself crazy immediately, all the way up until the day that it happens, with planning and list making and making preparations, and it's miserable. So needless to say, I've been needing a little bit of emotional support lately, and I've really found that in this essential oil blend. And it's one of the first, it's actually the first essential oil that really grabbed onto me. For those of you who don't know, we first discovered essential oils when my son was a newborn, and the digestive blend, Digesten, was actually the one that got us totally hooked on oils. But the first time that I personally had like a really wonderful experience with oils was with this blend. Again, I was a new mom and everything was very new, and you know, the adjustment period takes a lot longer than they tell you it does. But when I started to have some pretty anxious feelings, I reached for this oil. I put a drop in my palms and I rubbed them together and I inhaled through my hands, like through my nose, so I could kind of create like a makeshift diffuser with my hands. And I instantly felt calm. It was incredible. And since then, whenever I'm feeling really stressed out or overwhelmed or unsettled, I find myself just instinctively reaching for this oil. So Balance has definitely been my favorite blend this month. It's actually a blend of spruce, hoe wood, frankincense, blue tansy, blue chamomile, and osmanthus. It's already diluted with coconut oil. It's one of the few that's already diluted with coconut oil, so you can use it neat or basically just not applying any other carrier oil on your own. And I like to just put a drop in my palms. Again, inhale, rub it on my shoulders, on my neck, and my hair. I diffuse it all the time. I really just kind of use it any way that I can. So that's been a really great one. And if you are somebody, again, who struggles with like anxious feelings or feeling overwhelmed, or just curious on different ways to kind of like manage stress, this is a really cool one to try. Yeah, I just really can't recommend this one enough. That's my monthly roundup. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you guys are liking these videos. I feel like the favorites videos are some of my favorite to film, so I hope you guys really do like them. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. I post on here every Monday, and I hope you guys have a great week.